Alright. Well, it's Christmas Eve at Downtown Comics. We got pizza, we got garlic fingers, we got beer, and we're going to do a very special, it's not a pick of the week, but it's the history of comic book stores in St. John's from, well, for me it'd be 1980 up.
Yeah.
You know, before.
Yeah, up to that, yeah.
But, okay, 1980. I'm not talking 79, I'm not talking 81, I'm talking 1980. You could go into a store, it was called the Escape Edge. Now, this was on Harvey Road. If you remember where Stoggers used to be, that whole thing burned down. But he would have been right where the bus stop is. Right? If you wanted to buy the first issue of Doctor Doom, first appearance, it was there. Right?
He had an amazing collection.
You wanted to buy Fantastic Four #1, or Spider-Man #1, X-Men #1, Avengers #1. If you can think of any Marvel comic from the beginning of Marvel till 1980, it was available for sale. Unfortunately, I was 10 years old. I was a little kid with a paper route, so $1,000 for Spider-Man #1, yeah, just well, it was $1 million. I couldn't afford it, right? But this would be where I bought comics like New Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman and George Perez, probably the best comic at that time. Camelot 3000 came out. I remember that just like blew my mind. I don't know why it's not popular. It's so good.
Yeah, great series.
Independent comics are coming around. If you wanted to collect Moon Knight, you had to buy it at a comic book store. It wasn't available on the newsstand. Same with Micronauts and Kazar. Dazzler #1 movie was sold there.
Yeah.
I got my first Marvel graphic novel there. It was #4, the first appearance of New Mutants.
Okay, yeah.
And #5, X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. 6 and 7. 6 was really good. Starzheimer's?
Yeah, yes, that's one of my favorites.
By Walt Simonson. It was amazing.
And he sold our comic, Doug Warren, who was the owner at the time, he sold the comic that me and my buddy did, Zeitgeist, at the time. And that store,
I remember that. That's cool.
There's an ad on the back of it for Escape Hatch.
Wow.
So
you don't have any of them left here.
Oh yeah, I still have a couple of those. I'll bring them in.
Okay, so he closed February 1984. I remember the last comic I got out of him was New Mutants #2 and whatever other comics came out that week, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I was devastated. It was like, wow, no more comics. However, across the street at the top of Longs Hill was a convenience store called Gourmet Foods, right?
Yeah.
Now Mary, she took over the comic game, but you could only buy new comics. You had your own little box set up, and she would bring in the new comics and put them in your box. This is where I bought most of like the John Byrne FF run.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ronin by Frank Miller.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for me.
That came after.
Yeah.
All right. For me. Really good independent comics like John Sable, Star Slayer.
Yeah.
And D and Agents by Mark Evaner, was it?
Yeah.
I love that.
That was a great series.
So good, right?
That's one of the most underrated ones of that time.
And some other things I would have picked up were tip my tongue. Gru was coming out
around then. Yeah.
But,
I was able to pick up my Cerebus fix because I was into Cerebus at the time myself too. There.
The first Thor by Walt Simonson.
Oh yeah, yes.
There was a lot of good comics then, right?
Yeah.
So I was there for a while. And then Danny opened up Second Page Bookstore up in the Torbay Road Mall, where Zellers used to be. Now, if you go on the Torbay Road Mall now, there's a pizza parlor. As soon as you walk in, that's where he sold used books and comics.
Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
So this is where I bought stuff like Marvel Secret Wars. A lot of miniseries by Marvel came out, like Hercules and Jack of Hearts, like a lot of good stuff, right? And that's where first time I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #7.
Okay.
And I remember like picking it up and going, "Oh, this looks super cool." Right? Never ever saw the first 6 issues ever, right? But I was like, yeah, I collected that for a while. Eventually, he moved up to Topsail Road.
Okay.
I think the whole landscape has changed, but I'm thinking it was around where Jungle Gyms is and stuff up that way.
Yeah.
So I remember used to taking 2 bus rides to get up there, and coming back I'd be freezing. The bus would come like every hour and a half or something. But I had to get me comics, right?
Yeah.
Now this is where I would have bought Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21, where he got married.
Okay,
He had 2 covers. Well, the
the
first
2.
comics I had the 2 different covers.
Variant covers, yeah.
Alf number 1, Millennium. G.I. Joe was the hottest comic on the go at the time. Like, it was like beyond hot, right?
Yeah.
It was really good too.
Yeah.
Really good, right?
And wasn't that around the time too that Adam McDonald, was that his name? I think he was doing that independent selling. He used to sell like, because he had an account with a distributor or whatever, and he would take orders. He was doing like just a whole.
Oh, that was after.
Okay, after that. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that was.
I was gonna say because I was sure you knew him too,
Yeah, because
right?
I was actually selling in Zellers of all places.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Okay, so after Danny, then it was Yancey Street.
Yes.
And it was not Yancey Street, it was Yancey Street next, is either where Pie Pizza is,
Those 2 doors up
or
for
2 doors up from
Used
Pie
to be
Pizza.
Dylan's. When I was a kid, there used to be a grocery store there, Dylan's.
Yeah, it was a small store,
Yeah.
but when I first walked in there, I was able to pick up Dark Knight Returns 3 and 4, they didn't have 1 and 2, but brand new would have been comics like The Killing Joke,
Yeah.
10 Nights of the Beast, Death of Robin. I mean, Batman
Yeah.
was just like phenomenally good then, right?
And that's where I also first bought my first Watchmen trade.
Yeah. Watchmen was over when I first found the place, but I was buying V for Vendetta monthly. I was buying Howard Chaykin's Black Kiss monthly, and I was first time I ever seen Concrete from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Alien comics from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Oh, there was so many good comics coming out. It was fantastic.
It was a golden age, really.
It was really good.
Yeah.
The late
Yeah.
80s,
Yeah.
man, there were so many good books.
Yeah.
Now, Yancey Street moved down to where Sword and Steel is now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So comics I would have bought then would have been like Sandman #1,
Yeah.
Hellblazer #1,
Yeah.
the end of like the Alan Moore Swamp Thing series, right?
Yeah.
I also bought first appearance of Cable would have been bought there, right?
Yeah.
Wolverine #1 from 1988 would have been bought there. Big events from DC was Invasion. Remember that was huge.
Yes. Yes.
Sucked, but it was huge. And a lot of the McFarlane Amazing Spider-Mans I bought there. So I'm not sure if it was at the first location or the second one, but I definitely bought Amazing Spider-Man 300
Yeah. I think
around
it was,
that time.
Yeah.
Right? And there was 2 owners of that place. It was Bob Hahn and this guy Glenn.
Yeah.
Nobody
Brown,
liked Glenn. Was sticking him up, right? And he was like the manager of Kohl's or something in the mall.
Yeah.
Nobody
Or
liked him, right? You worked
or
there,
classic
actually.
books. Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked there actually
You
for a
worked
while.
there. So anyways, they all broke apart.
Yeah.
And Bob decided to open up Time Masters, right?
Yeah.
So comics I was buying there would have been X-Men #1 from the early 90s, like the biggest comic ever sold of all time.
Yeah.
The Death of Superman.
Well, you bought those. off
First time
me.
I ever seen a Bone comic. Oh,
Yeah.
we're getting you.
Yeah.
Because I did buy it from both of you.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like Evil Ernie and Lady Death.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
First time Dark Horse put out some really good stuff like Hellboy,
Yeah.
Sin City,
Next
Men by John
Yeah.
Byrne. They had a whole line. It was the Legends
Legend.
line. They
Yeah.
called it.
Yeah. That's right.
And you were open.
Yeah.
I remember discovering you, and I bought comics like Too Much Coffee Man #1
Yeah.
off you.
Yeah.
I bought 3 copies of the Death of Superman off you. I bought 3 copies of the first appearance of Bloodshot off you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bought Batman 500, which was the first Azrael as Batman, and that was actually good. That whole Nightfall thing was really
Yeah.
good. I liked that.
And we played a lot of pinball.
You had a lot of pinball
at that place.
machines. And after that,
Well, I closed down.
You closed down. I was sort of on my own. I was actually buying my comics at Kohl's because I couldn't get a box of Time Masters unless I gave them $25. And I was like, dude, the only thing I want is the Mark Waid, Ron Garney, Captain America
Okay,
series.
yes,
It was
yes,
the best
yes.
thing Marvel was doing. And what they do, shagged all that up. So when I opened the shop in '97,
Yeah.
basically we were on
And that was after we were together for a while at the flea market too. Yeah.
we were on the tail end of Onslaught,
Yeah.
and the whole Heroes Reborn stuff was going on. With
Yeah.
Jim Lee doing
Yeah,
FF,
yes.
Rob Liefeld doing
Yeah.
Avengers and Captain America. And
Badly.
badly, right? And apparently more stores shut down in 1997 than any other year in comic history.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. But we opened her up. And yeah, I've seen 20 years of comics since then. Like,
Yeah.
so much have come and gone.
Yeah.
So anyways, we just want to wish you a Merry Christmas from me and Wallace, and
Yeah.
Sean's up there somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, keep reading comics, and if you got any more questions about comics and stores in the city, feel free to talk anytime about comics with me. And have a great one, folks.
Yes, and a happy New Year's.
Yeah, well, we'll see you before New Year's.
Yes.
I'll make a pick of the week before that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Woohoo! Yay!
Cheers, guys.
See ya.